I mean, it's getting back to a simpler life, and this is about living clean. I mean, it's about low impact, not consumerism, not having to buy stuff, do it yourself, in control of your own destiny, and basically we grow a lot of our own food here. Yeah, you know, you don't have to go and earn that much of money and then have to pay someone else to grow your veggies or cook for you and that. You know, it's a lot of satisfaction of life just doing it all yourself. My name's Chris Garrett. I've been shaping boards since, first one I started was 1979 is when I first had a crack at it. But then in 1984 I managed to rent a factory in Burleigh Heads, and there I stayed making all sorts of stuff till 2004. So I did 20 odd years in Burleigh and really learned to hone my craft and had a lot of great waves and met some characters along the way. Currently I'm sitting at a place called Duranbah. It sits in behind Kingscliff and now Casuarina, and it's about 10 minutes out of Kingscliff and 10 minutes out of Wollongbar. It's kind of in the hinterland. You overlook the ocean, and I'm just out here in the farms. I'm a bit of a do-it-yourself kind of guy. I like to make everything myself. I like to do that way. I get a lot of satisfaction out of making stuff. I've built this little shed here, which is just a shed, yeah, which is for me to shape in and do what I want to do and goof off making surfboards. I was down in Sydney and I'd been living in Queensland looking at the beautiful channel bottoms that were made, and the ones that struck me were the Alan Byrne channels. Went back and tried to explain to the local shapers down there what they looked like, and I think they did know that, but I wasn't a good surfer and I was a pretty kooky kind of guy. And so I never got to speak to the shaper. I spoke to the guy at the front. When I got the board, it didn't look anything like what I explained. And I had another go and it didn't happen. And then I said, bugger this, I'm just going to have a crack myself. So I got myself a blank and started shaping. And I was addicted to it from then on. It was just this, there's something about creating foam and watching shapes evolve, and the noise that it makes and the dust and the mistakes you make and trying to get it back. And it's just an incredible journey that's just fantastic. I've got all goosebumps talking about it. Phantom Surfboards was because I initially started shaping surfboards, and I'd left school, sort of dropped out, went surfing, didn't go to uni, and then started shaping surfboards. And I just wanted to do surf. Since I shaped my first board, all I wanted to do was make surfboards. But my dad sort of lowered the boom and said, no son, you're not going to uni, get a trade. So I went and became a carpenter, but in the interim I needed a name, and Phantom suited it really well. Burleigh was a good spot because there was no one at Burleigh. The hub of industry was up at Mermaid Beach, Currumbin, South Tweed, no one at Burleigh. I just said, look at this wide open door with this amazing wave, like half a kilometre away. I used to go down there after work, you know, and just try and sneak away from the factory and just try boards out on ideas. That was the beauty about having the factory there, and you could just go and, I've got this idea, so go in there and quickly build it, and then you go down there and try it. You go, oh, that doesn't go, or oh, that goes really good. I'm going to try and replicate it. Or go down there, tune it, and back and forth. And it was, for my shaping and for me, I was so fortunate to be at Burleigh because it's such a good wave. When you don't surf it a lot and you go back to surf it, you forget how good it is. It's just a beautiful delight to ride, and you quickly sort out how your boards go. It's good. It's very satisfying to go down the point and seeing guys surfing your boards and surfing them well, you know. And most important to me is that they're actually enjoying themselves and having a good time. That's what I get out of it. And I still love working that way. I love working closely associated with clients. Because when I first ordered my boards, I never got to speak to the shaper. It was like he was somewhere else. And I remember how bad that connection was and how I felt about it. And surfing to me is about connection. It's about community, and it's about friendship, and it's about purpose and enjoyment, you know. And I think being a shaper is probably, I've got the best job in the world. It gives me a lot of fulfillment and enjoyment out of life. And yeah, it's good fun. Can't think of anything else I'd want to do just at the moment.